Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Mezco Toys 112 Collective G.I. Joe series. G.I. Joe series? Yeah, well I guess would be, G.I. Joe series, Snake Eyes. So, what's crazy about this is, everyone knows I absolutely adore G.I. Joe. It's one of those things where can't stop, won't stop, Rockefeller record style, But, oh my god, this guy is fun because there's something new to this Snake Eyes that I can't quite put my finger on, and I'm going to try to figure out what's the difference. But I feel like the sum of a bunch of little things added up to make this guy really fantastic. One of those things being the small amount of butterfly joint they gave, the extra ankle pivot, and giving the clothing room to move so that way he can move better. And I'm going to talk about that when we get to the articulation part. But look wise, I know some people are not really feeling this style of Snake Eyes, when me personally, I'm 100% here for it. I love the Mezco-fied rendition. I know some people don't like the fact that because of the way the belt sits, it makes him look like thick. But you gotta understand, like, if your man's one to move, like, I get him being a skin tight ninja commando and him having all of that stuff, but I feel like G.I. Joe, even in the comics, when he wasn't wearing a skin tight suit, he wore baggy jeans and did ninja stuff, depending on the art style. But when Larry Hama's writing it, it's literally like the baggy military style clothing. So I feel like this personifies it really well. Now, as far as articulation goes, like I said, I feel like there are a bunch of little things that really add up really well on this Snake Eyes, right? One of them being is that tucking his head in with the extra, and there I go doing too much. One of them being that he can actually move his head down a lot better. As you can see, we can do that. I went extra hard. That was on me. I apologize. And even looking up, the neck will poke out a bit, but the ability to look up just a little bit further does make a huge difference, as well as turning the head looking sideways. This makes for great range of articulation, or my favorite word, roticulation, that I made up by accident. We have a little bit of butterfly joint here, and it adds up when you do stuff like lifting the leg up to 90 degrees. We get the double joint here. We have a boot swivel, right? But more importantly, we have probably the best ankle pivot we've probably ever gotten on a Mezco. And I'm really excited because while not so much back and forth, but the fact that you can boot swivel and rotate inward, it's helped get the feet flat, look better for posing, things like that. So when you want to do a wild kick like this, we have that extra articulation that looks really cool for this jumping up kick. Now, if you want to spread that in just a little bit more and get that rider style kick, boom, look at that. Your Snake Eyes is getting busy in the streets already. If you want to close that gap in because of that extra little bit of room, now we have a better version of a said rider kick, right? Then even while posing him up, we can do stuff like this because of our beautiful ab crunch and our neck movement. Look at that. Snake Eyes can actually look like a fighter in style. While you use your made up styles or whatever, like you've made up ninjutsu of Arashikage, it does look really solid. Bending the knees forward, making it look like this. Let's see how it looks on a pointed stance, crouching down, because now we can tuck that leg in. So stuff like this looks really good. You turn it at an angle, looks even better. I don't know, man. Something about this just screams really exciting, as we don't have to buy a $20 classified and then add clothing to it later. We just can do it now, because I know a ton of us have done it. We've all modded it. We've added little things to it. So I feel like Mezco version kind of hits the nail on the head in a bunch of ways. I don't know. It's really nice to see it come to fruition and look really solid. I think the only gripe I may have is that this bandolier on the leg comes down very easily, and that I popped out, let's actually get a little bit of focus on it. I popped out the holder by accident on mine. Now I'm gonna glue it back in because it's not a big issue, but I was a little annoyed because it does sit here actually really, really well, and it still can hold the weight, but it's easy to just boop. Now I did that because it is glued there. I did that because I was being extra with the posing, and I totally forgot that that piece was there. So full disclaimer, that one's on me. But either way, very, very, very excited for this. Now, we've got our look. We've talked about the bandolier. I haven't even gone through all the accessories myself in person. So this will be my first time going through them, as I just sat here, posed it, was in genuine excitement of it. And now I'm gonna look at it with you guys as we go through it. So let's get to it. You know, it's crazy because in my excitement, I forgot to take timber out of the packaging. So we're going to count timber as an accessory. So here we are with our mold for timber. And it's dope because, I mean, if you're familiar with the Hasbro one, this basically has the same articulation, but a different feel of plastic. We're going to be able to wiggle at our backside like you know, canines. Same here, as well as a little bit of up and down. You actually get a little nice ball joint here. This is easy to swap out for the heads. I will be careful here because you can cause some paint scraping. Tail just rotates around. Yeah, rotates around. Same with our front articulation. We have our hind legs. We do the puppy bash. And do we have, nope. So it's weird because these kind of sit on a ball joint like this, but you can rotate them backwards like that or rotate them forwards, but not outward. So that's a little different. Then we have a nice rotator cuff joint. These actually can rotate as well too. I said, why'd I call it a rotator cuff? I don't know. Familiar word, but not actually what I meant. And here we are looking, it just looks fantastic. It really, really does. What's really cool is the alternative sculpts. Here you have that snarling grit teeth one. This one looks really fantastic on the Mezco sculpt. This one's painted really, really well. And then you have the roar, nah, not roar, the barking, because wolves bark, or howling. Nah, I won't call it howling. Let's call it barking, right? Open fanged, full blown, looking fantastic. Because Timber, I think we're up to Timber 5 now in the comics, but Timber's a good boy, right? So boom, no, we're up to Timber 4. Sorry, Timber 4. Now, with all of that being said, we do have a holster here for his sidearm. Get that focus. We have a holster here for the sidearm. We have an opening for the knife that goes on the back. Now, we're gonna go over the accessories. First things first, let's go over hands. Let's move Snake Eyes back here. The hands are really dope as, that was a jerk move, hands. That was a real jerk move. And I tried to open it up so it looked cool too. But if we start from the top, because where the jerk hand start, we have our small items holding hand here at the top. That's for holding our knives, our throwing stars, things like that. Snake Eyes is ambidextrous, so we have left and right. We have opened, relaxed hands. We have regular item holding hands. We have multiple item holding hands, right? So that way you can put them between the hands here and at the forefront. We have 2 trigger hands, one left and right. We have an open martial arts hand. We have another, well, we have a, and then we have the open martial arts hand, then we have open action hands. Now, as well as those hands, you get 2 more cool action set hands, one being the throwing of ninja star effect hand. Attaches right on and looks utterly fantastic when you're doing the throwing stars. And then you have one for him lobbing the grenade, which is really, really nice. It even has a nice little gaseous effect. So I'm guessing this would be a smoke grenade. No, this could be a regular grenade too. But it's a nice, cool effect added. I really like this hand. So these look utterly fantastic. Then you have, in one of the other trays, you have a submachine gun with an extra magazine. You'll have, I forgot the name of these goddamn swords, these short swords. They're not Kama. It's gonna bother me, but I'm gonna have to look those up, but I don't know why I lost it. Then we have our sidearm here. Now, I believe in another tray, which I've taken it out, I'm gonna take these out. And the reason why I'm taking this out is because in another tray, you will actually get a silencer. And I wanna see if it works for both the submachine gun and the handgun. Because Snake Eyes is a cool dude. Yes, as you can see, it does work on the handgun. And I would high key suggest you heat this up before you take it back out, because I am probably going to henchman mine and break it. So I'm not gonna do that. I know you heard that squeaking from before. So I'm gonna wait till I'm off camera to heat this up, because now that it's in there, it might be a little stuck until I heat it up. So yeah, I wanna be careful. Next up, like I showed you before, we have that sheath that plugs into the back of Snake Eyes, right in the back. Let's actually do that really quickly. So that way we can see where that plugs into. There is a tab here on the back. Tabs right in. We're gonna leave his back turned for now. Then we have a bullet effect. It's a new bullet effect. This one is smaller and different. Next up, we have all the small weapons that I mentioned before. So we have grenades, we have throwing stars, we have kunai, and we have a 3-section staff, which I think this is dope. Let's take this out and see if it's wired or if it's just loose. Oh, no, wait. No, it's loose, but it's attached to a small chain, but you know, you can still whip it around as you saw that I just did. And this is different from the one we got with Iron Fist, but similar enough. So I'm here for it. I wish I could do real life sound effects. Last but not least, you'll get 2 swords. One is going to be a normal katana, which I feel like is reminiscent of the Morning Light in the comics. And then you'll have Snake Eyes' personalized sword. It's a Rashikage sword. So I feel like these look fantastic. I like the sheath for this one too. It makes it feel like it's serrated all the way through. And that about sums up all of our accessories for Snake Eyes. And now we're gonna jump into the size comparison. So I'm gonna go find some figures and then we'll jump into it. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, as we jump into the size comparison, I guess first we will compare to the other Snake Eyes, which is going to be the G.I. Joe Classified. And I'm just gonna compare size-wise. Value-wise, it's completely different. One is a $20 figure, one is a literal $112 figure. Well, at retail price. So, and the reason why I say that is because some of you are going to brag about getting it cheaper, and I don't feel like hearing that. But, as you can see, height-wise, our Mezco one is taller, beefier too. But yeah, I think they still move very similarly. I feel like he's not going to have the constrictions of soft goods, and he has more stuff to offer. So, depending on what you want, this is what you'll get. Now, when you compare that to other classifieds, and before I jump into other figures, here is Hasbro's Timber. So yeah, their Timber is smaller. So yeah, you see what you get. So I'm gonna remove Timber very quickly. We can jump into the other stuff. Now, when you compare it to other classified like Vipers, in case you wanna do army builders up against Snake Eyes and things like that, here we are with, and he has loose legs. Wow, what did I do to you? So here is a Viper. Vipers are a little bit bigger. Here we are with a His Tank Specialist. These guys are a little bigger as well. Then I'll put my boy Cobra Commander in there. We got your boy Coco Commander. Let me fix his neck up in the background. I be out here having them look crazy, dog. I gotta do better. So here we are with Coco Commander. I feel like this is not terrible, right? Now, when you compare to other Mezco ones, here we are with Roadblock. And I feel like Roadblock should have been bigger. Snake Eyes is actually a tad bit bigger. And I'm not sure if it's because of his big old head, his masthead, or otherwise. But I feel like Roadblock should have been bigger. But as you can see here, we have these 3 guys, all similar in height, not all the same. But I feel like Roadblock should have definitely been bigger. Next up, this one is not going to surprise you if you've read the Fortnite comic, but this is probably one of my favorite crossovers ever, and I thought it was such a cool thing to do between Epic Games, DC, and IDW at the time. So here we are with Batman. I chose Mezco Batman, as these two finally and officially met in the Fortnite universe. I thought that was one of the coolest things ever, so I felt like I had to add this guy in. And then if you think about the classic 80s and early 90s stuff, here we are against the Jada Toys Ryu, in case you want to do Street Fighter versus G.I. Joe, because yes, that was a thing for toys at one point. Next up, we're going to snack it up with a Mythic Legions, in case you want to time displace your boy Snake Eyes. Well, you know, just do a Fortnite crossover. It doesn't even matter. Do what you want. They're your toys, right? So here we are with a Valiant Knight. And last but not least, I'm going to pop my head sculpt off and pop our main man back on so he can make his cameo, as he very much deserves. And I'm panicking a little bit because I can't find Ichigo's head sculpt. So now I'm a little panicked, but we are going to not act up because I'm sure it's here somewhere. But in the meantime, I'm gonna pop my sculpt back on. I'm gonna make a cameo for him. So here we are with Mezco Me in place of your boy Ichigo. So yeah, maybe I can be Snake Eyes as I pop my head sculpt on. But I do want to say thank you guys for sticking through the video. Thanks for hanging out. And as always, please be good to yourself, be good to others. be good, and do good. And always drink your water. Later, guys. Real quick bonus round. Somebody had once asked me if these three were all going to be the same thing, and they are not. Boots are different. I believe the only thing that's similar is probably going to be the leg design, but I'm not even sure because his legs are thicker than his, and his are a slightly different, longer one. So I don't think it's the same anywhere design-wise. So just figured I'd throw this in because I know I'm going to ask a million times about it. So yeah, take your look, take a pic, yeah, see what you like. Yada yada, bing bang boom. Be good, do good, for real.